start today by getting up out of our seats. Push our chairs in. Let's start with our essential question, our power teaching. So we've already done this, but let's review it. What is our essential question? How can I record and analyze data? All right, let's do it again. How can I record and analyze data? Perfect. So I want you to pick up your journals and come to the floor quietly. We have a video that's going to introduce us to bar graphs. So we've been learning about different types of graphs. One of them was what? Amy? Picture graphs. What's a picture graph? Sydney? Yeah, we use pictures to represent our data, right? What else have we learned? Riley?
We learned a tally graph.
Yeah, we do tallies. And what does a tally look like? Show me with your fingers. Perfect. And what do we use that for?
To mark how much people like.
Yeah, to mark how different people survey for different things. So let's watch this video.
If you look right here, you can see that we have some fruit. I wanted to know what types of fruit my friends like, so I went out and asked my friends what fruit they like the most. Here you can see that I have tally marks to show how many of my friends
So there's
like
tallies.
which fruit
We've learned
most.
that.
You might know already, but a tally mark is a useful way to represent data. Each time a friend told me they liked a certain fruit, I would put a tally mark under that fruit to keep track of how many people liked that fruit. Now we will put all this information that I have gathered into a bar graph. A bar graph is another way to represent data. It is a lot like a picture graph, but without the pictures or symbols. Here's our graph, but the first thing we need to do with any graph is what?
What do we need to do with our
We
graph?
need a title. Since the information we collected was on favorite fruits, let's call it favorite fruit. With this graph, I want to put the names of the fruit on the bottom and the numbers on the left side going up. We can see here on the bottom, we have the names of the fruits. We should label what these are. This is obviously going to be labeled fruit, since they're fruit. On the side, we need to measure how many people like these different types of fruit. We only need to go up to 6, since our information or tally marks only go up to 6. So the numbers going from 1 to 6 represent the amount of people. We can now fill out the graph according to our data. First in our data are the apples. We can see from the tally marks that 2 of...
So let's look at our apples. How many tallies do we have for apples? Show me with your fingers. 2, right? So what are we going to do for this graph? For apples. Des? Color in 2. Perfect.
My friends liked apples. So here on the graph, we will have this bar at the bottom go up 2 spots to show that 2 people liked apples. Okay, next we have oranges.
Show me with
How
your
many people
fingers
like
how many
oranges?
oranges there are. We look at our tally marks.
Good
3.
job. 3 people liked oranges. So we move the bar up to where the 3 is. Now how many people liked pears?
Show me with pears.
We had just
1.
one that liked pears. So the bar goes up just 1. The
What
last
about
one is
bananas?
There were 6 people that liked
6.
bananas.
Perfect.
So the bar goes all the way up to 6. We now have an amazing bar graph that shows all of our data that I collected about what is the favorite fruit to eat. With this graph, it is easier to read and interpret the information. For example, I can see that only one person liked pears.
So let's look at our graph. Which fruit has the most?
Bananas.
Which one did they like the best? Bananas. What about the least?
Pears.
Pears. And then, what about oranges? How many oranges were there?
3.
And then apples?